Hi, and welcome to Two Steps. In this demo, I'm going to show you how you can build synthetic monitoring or end user experience tests really quickly, simply by clicking around the screen and using keyboard and mouse emulation. What we're looking at here is my sales demo environment, and you can see the current status of a number of tests that are running. We can see that some of them are running okay, but there's a few that are running into problems. So let's drill into one of them. I'm going to choose the Citrix and Windows test. Here we can see a dashboard, and it's color coordinated to the checkpoints, the different checkpoints that we've created in this test. We can see very quickly that there's a spike here, so there's something strange going on. So let's just drill in and have a look. So very quickly we can see that the first three parts of the test have performed okay. They've run, and the performance SLAs have not been broken. But we've got a warning here at checkpoint number 4 and checkpoint number 5. We've got a failure. Now we can have a look at the raw JSON. We can have a look at screenshots. We can also have a look at the video replay. So let's jump in and see exactly what happened. Now this is a really unique feature of Two Steps. The video replay that we capture of every test that the robot runs. And the reason this is so useful is really around understanding what the problem is. Rather than just looking at traditional dashboards, we can see exactly what happened from the end user's experience perspective. Now, the reason that this is useful is if you're in a war room and you're trying to understand what the problem is with one of your applications, you can run the video and it will give you clues. So, for example, if the login process is slow, then maybe there's a problem with your authentication layer. If the database is running slow, then you're probably going to see slow performance when you're looking for records or doing database searches. It's incredibly powerful if you're also using third-party vendors, software providers. So you can use this video and show them that the performance is not working as it should be. Okay, we're not going to run through all that video because we can see that there's a problem there with the notepad launching in our virtualized environment. Let's have a look at some of the other filters that we've got in the Results Explorer. So we can play around with the time range. We can have a look at last week and see what's going on there. We can filter by results. So let's have a look at all the results that are okay or all the results that have failed. And we can also filter by locations. So a number of our customers have robots running at different geographical locations because they want to understand what end user experience looks like, not just at head office, but some of those more regional or remote locations. And it's entirely possible using Two Steps. Okay, moving into the synthetic test editor, let's have a look at what it looks like when you build a test. Now, to begin with, I'm just going to do a test on a supermarket website here in Australia. So we'll choose Chrome because it's a website, put in the URL and hit OK. Now, what you're going to see here is on the left-hand side is the canvas that we're going to interact with. And on the right-hand side, this is where the test will be built. So, okay, I want to navigate through the website just like a customer would. Okay, let's have a look at the fruit and vegetables area. Just going to label that. Wait for the website to load. Okay, we've made it here okay. Maybe I want to page down and see exactly what's going on below the fold. So here I would use the special keys command, page down. Or alternatively, I might want to just drag the scroll bar here, which is entirely possible with Two Steps as well. Okay, I'm satisfied that that part is working. Maybe I want to test out the search function. So now what I've done is in the action builder, I've moved away from click image to enter text. In fact, Two Steps has recognized it's a text box, so it's changed that for me automatically. But while we're here, I'll show you some of the other actions that we've got. We can wait for images. We can handle conditional statements like ifs and loops. We can mouse over the image. And under all of these, we've got advanced features as well. So let's just put in milk in the search bar. We'll click on here. Again, wait for the page to load. Okay, I've got my product here. This is what I want to select. And the final part of the test is I'm going to find an image and use that as my success criteria. So I'm going to use that everyday function and change to wait for image. And I know when Two Steps finds that image, then my test has been successful. So, okay, we've built our test. I can hover over all of these numbers and get a preview of exactly what I've done. And this is really useful if somebody else is jumping into this test. Maybe they haven't built it. Maybe one of their colleagues has built the test. They want to understand exactly what they were trying to achieve. So you can get the preview here. Next thing that we're going to do is add in our checkpoints. So we'll put a few in here. And this is where I start to play around with the performance SLAs. So I might say, okay, if that takes longer than 5 seconds, I want to be warned. And if this takes longer than 10 seconds, then I want to deem that a failure. So I've updated the SLAs for that checkpoint. I can rename these checkpoints as well. So we'll just call this fruit search, etc. Okay, so I'm happy with that test. Next thing I'm going to do is save the test, and we now need to schedule it. So move into the scheduler, create a new schedule. In fact, I'm going to create two. The first will run every 5 minutes, and I want to run that Monday to Friday. On the weekends, I'm going to run it every 15 minutes. So we'll just change that and untick the others here. Okay, I've got my two schedules, and here is where if I wanted to run it from different locations. So in my sales environment, I've got branch and a cloud environment. Okay, all right, great. So that's our schedule done. So there we go. That's a synthetic test built in minutes using no scripting, no embedded agents, just pointing and clicking. Very, very simple. So what does it look like if I want to build another test on Windows? Well, we change the platform from Chrome to Windows, hit OK, and now all of a sudden I'm not looking at a Chrome browser, I'm looking at a Windows machine. And what's happening here is the two-step server is connecting to a Windows machine via RDP. Now, this could be your standard operating environment with all of your preloaded apps and all of your single sign-on processes. The Two Steps robot can work with any of that, including 2FA to log in. So let's just build a test on this, very simple test. We'll get rid of the hanging Skype window. We'll click on the search bar and we'll click here. We're going to change this to enter text. I'm going to put Notepad. Click on the Notepad application. Now this is interesting because we've got a predominantly white screen. So what I can do is I can click on here. So this will be the image that we find, but I can tell Two Steps to actually click down here. So look for this image, but click down here. Let's change this to enter text. And away we go. We've built our test. So again, no scripting, just pointing and clicking, but now we're operating on Windows. Now there are various functions that we've got in here, including being able to import scripts, the run JavaScript command, where we would be able to do a number of different advanced functions. So that's all in this area here. And then finally, let's have a look at what it looks like if I was to choose mainframe. So here we've got a terminal emulator, and of course I would be using the special keyboard here, the function keys, etc., etc. All right, so finally, here is the 2FA administration console. So I'm not going to go through this now. We'll cover this in a different video. But if you have applications that are using things like Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator to create one-time pins to log in, then this is where we can handle it. And importantly, 2Steps, the robot produces a unique 2FA code every time it runs the test. We can also handle one-time pins being delivered by SMS as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's our 2Steps demo, the first part of a number of demos that we will do. If you would like to understand more, then visit 2steps.io or hit me up at simon@2steps.io, and we'd love to chat. Thanks for listening.